With the recent rerun of the Azur Lane Dead or Alive Extreme Venus Vacation collaboration event, I thought it'd be appropriate to do a video about it, since it's the first time Azur Lane has done a rerun of a collab event, and they're adding modules, 2 new ship girls, and the first live 2D skin for a collab event ship. The plan for this collab event summary is to separate it into 5 different parts. 1. A brief and condensed background on the Dead or Alive series and the Extreme Venus Vacation series. 2. A summary of the Venus Vacation stories, Venus Visitation, and Cozy Days. 3. Profiles of the event ship girls, much like the ship girl profiles I usually do. 4. Analyses of the new event equipment and modules. And 5. My overall opinion on the collab event. To give a brief summary as to what Dead or Alive and Extreme Venus Vacation are, Dead or Alive is a fighting game franchise that originally started out in 1996 in arcades, and was later ported to consoles in 1997 and 98, with the franchise currently being on its 6th installment as of 2019. Most installments of the main Dead or Alive franchise follow many different fighters such as Marie Rose and Kasumi as they fight their way through the Dead or Alive World Combat Championship for various reasons, such as money or revenge. Extreme Venus Vacation, on the other hand, which stems from the Extreme Beach Volleyball series, mainly focuses on the female roster of Dead or Alive, featuring Honoka, Kasumi, Marie Rose, Misaki, Monica, Nagisa, Nyotengu, Tamaki, and Luna, as well as other characters. The player in Extreme Venus Vacation can watch the girls play or play themselves many different games such as volleyball, blackjack, and butt wrestling, as well as use the Gacha system to get new outfits and accessories for the girls, as well as some of the girls themselves. The story begins with the commander and the starter quartet reading a strange letter that suddenly appeared one day on the commander's desk, with the letter foretelling of Venuses of a faraway land arriving, how girls from the Azure Sea will face them, and how both Vacation Island and a Venus festival will soon appear and commence. Javelin, the commander, Laffy, and Z23 don't understand what the letter is attempting to say, but Z23 believes that there's no ill will within the letter. Instead, the letter serves as an announcement. Ayanami gives the commander a report saying that there's a new island near the port, with the island possibly being the Vacation Island that the letter talked about. Javelin volunteers herself and the other girls to go look at the island and take off. Z23 reminds them that they're there to look around and not play when visiting the island. Javelin spots the island in Akashi's report, with Z23 being surprised that no one noticed sooner with how close it is to the port. Ayanami spots an inflatable boat in front of them, with someone unarmed in it. Z23 goes over to the boat to investigate. The girl in the lifeboat is relieved that someone noticed her, and introduces herself as Kasumi, with Z23 introducing herself and the other ship girls in turn. Kasumi asks if they're using ninjutsu to float on the water, which Ayanami denies. Z23 brings up the letter and the new meeting it talked about, then asks Kasumi if she came from the island that suddenly appeared. Kasumi confirms that, when she woke up, she was suddenly on the island with everyone else, then asks the 4 of them if they are friends with the Green Cat Girl, inviting the 4 to her camp to explain further. Kasumi brings the 4 ship girls to the camp and introduces them to the others, Marie Rose, Honoka, Misaki, Nagisa, Monica, and Nyotengu. Sometime later, after an explanation has been given by the ship girls about who they are and what their riggings are and why they're at the island, the girls themselves explain why they were shocked that they were on the island themselves, but couldn't complain much due to the amenities such as a pool, beach volleyball, food, and a place to stay. But they don't know who set it up. Ayanami then finds a terminal of sorts with something written on it, saying that if the Venuses want to return home, they must complete missions given to them. Their main mission, according to the terminal, is to participate in the special Venus festival against the girls of the Azure Sea, with their secondary mission seeking the company of the Friends of the Green Cat being shown as complete. A new secondary mission shows up, saying to head to the port to get riggings from the Green Cat. The 4 ship girls and the Venuses head to the port to get the riggings and report back to the commander. A few days later, the Venuses are trying on and getting used to their riggings. Akashi is glad that the Venuses are pleased with the results as she made the riggings herself, and that they should be careful with them. Nyotengu asks what they should do now, with Akashi saying that the Venuses should get used to the riggings while the special Venus festival is being prepared. Javelin informs the commander that the guests have arrived, and that they're looking for Akashi. Kasumi introduces herself to the commander, with Z-23 explaining why they're at the port. Akashi examines the terminal that the Venuses had, with Misaki explaining to the commander what the Venus Festival is. Essentially, it's a festival that occurs in the Venus Islands, and the goal is to make the Venuses, aka the contestants, shine as brightly as they can. The commander smiles creepily because of this. A new main mission comes into the terminal, saying to use the rigging to participate in an exercise in the special Venus Festival to show themselves off with the girls of the Azur Sea, the progress being at 0%. The commander asks Akashi to find out who the sender is, with Akashi telling the Venuses and the starter quartet to go and practice for the time being. In the exercise, Akashi has the red team, made up of Venuses, compete against the blue team under the command of the commander, and that the special ammo will make sure that no one gets hurt. Red team, Kasumi and Monica, go up against Takao and Atago. Misaki cheers the Venuses from the sidelines, and Akashi, as the announcer, starts the competition. Kasumi and Takao fight each other, with the crowd cheering at their display of offense and defense. Both Takao and Kasumi complement each other's fighting. Akashi stops the fighting, saying that both teams put on a spectacular performance. After the fight, Monica challenges Takao to a game of beach volleyball, with Atago liking the idea. Akashi ends the first round and goes to intermission. During the intermission, Akashi informs the commander that the progress is now at 28.5%, but she hasn't found who's transmitting the information, but maybe she can further pinpoint it with the next round. The second round begins with sisters Misaki and Nagisa representing the red team, while Prince Yugen and Admiral Hipper represent the blue team. Nagisa, the older sister, doesn't want Misaki to get hurt, with Misaki reassuring her that she'll be fine. Yugen teases Hipper for being nervous as the commander has high hopes for her, with Hipper trying to play it off and telling her to focus. Akashi begins the second round. The cooperation between both sets of sisters is flawless, with Akashi ending the first round by remarking how incredible the teamwork was on both sides. Nagisa checks Misaki to see if she's alright, which she is, with Yugen remarking that both sides are blessed with good sisters, though Yugen does wish Hipper would work on her quote-unquote flatitude. As they chat, a third party enters the conversation, Portland and Indianapolis, with Portland giving complimentary indie merch as a symbol of friendship. Indy drags Portland off, apologizing for her behavior. The third round commences with Marie Rose and Honoka on the red team and Warspite and Belfast on the blue team. Queen Elizabeth orders Warspite to show the Royal Navy's glory, especially to Honoka, proving to her that flat is justice due to Honoka's size. Marie Rose provokes Belfast, saying that she wants to have some fun. Honoka has some shots fired at her, which bounce off her bountiful bosoms. Belfast goes to attack before noticing that the commander is suffering from a nosebleed. Akashi ends the fight, commenting that she's had enough melons for one summer. Both sides compliment each other's fighting, with Warspite saying that the match was the focus of the day for some reason. Akashi announces a break before the final round. During the intermission, Akashi and the commander look at the terminal, which is currently at 85%, and the source still isn't found. The commander and Akashi wonder who they'll pit against Nyotengu, with Mikasa appearing and offering to give advice. Mikasa was shocked to meet a demon of legends, but even more so that the demon was kind. Nyotengu says that she and Mikasa think much alike. The commander asks Mikasa who they should choose, with Mikasa recommending some unpredictable young'uns. Akashi starts off the final round, with Nyotengu on the red team and Zuikaku and Shokaku on the blue team. Mikasa, Kaga, and Akagi all cheer on the 5th Carrier Division, while Zuikaku greets Nyotengu. The round starts with Shokaku promising not to let Akagi down, and Nyotengu calling for the 2 Sakura carriers to entertain her. Zuikaku and Shokaku's attacks don't do much of anything to Nyotengu, with Nyotengu not even using her full power on them. The 2 carriers attack Nyotengu simultaneously, just as Akashi stops the fight. Nyotengu says that the 2 carriers fought well, with Zuikaku and Shokaku saying that they're dead tired. Akashi closes the special Venus festival. After the festival concludes, Akashi tells the commander that there's a new message on the terminal, which reads that all the missions have been completed and a teleportation device is being sent to Vacation Island. After traveling to the island and finding the teleporter, the terminal asks if the commander wants to activate the teleportation device. All the Venuses and ship girls say their teary goodbyes, with the commander sending them back by pressing yes on the terminal. The terminal says that the teleporter will be active for 7 hours every 168 hours, or 7 days, and that only certain entities can use the teleporter, before deactivating the teleporter and stopping working. The Venuses are overjoyed that they're able to come and go to the port at any time, and are ready to have a bit more fun with the ship girls. Elsewhere, Observer, Tester, and Purifier all look at the data they've obtained from the festival. Tester asks if they truly obtained any useful data from playing around, with Observer saying that contact with other beings will eventually cause some change. Purifier asks if anyone saw her mind because she's bored and bored out of her mind, and asks if beach volleyball is really that fun. Observer asks if she wants to try, but Purifier would rather stick to twiddling her thumbs. Back with the Venuses, who are now on vacation, haha, see what I did there, Misaki and Akashi are working at a crepe stand, which is quite successful. Nagisa and the commander come by the stand after Nagisa said she wanted to check in on her sister. The commander orders 2 mango vanilla crepes and gives one to Nagisa. Misaki asks Nagisa if there's something on her face, with Nagisa quickly changing subjects to asking if it was Misaki's idea to open the crepe stand, which it was. After the commander and Nagisa leave, Nagisa says she's relieved that Misaki is doing okay. Elsewhere, Marie Rose, Honoka, Gascon, Takao, and Atago are all participating in a sandcastle building contest, with the commander and Nyotengu being the judges. After much digging, sculpting, and molding, everyone finishes their sandcastles. Marie and Honoka's is a giant sphere with a necktie and naval cap that looks similar to the commander, but is actually a Meowficer. Takao's, and presumably Atago's, is a traditional Sakura Empire castle. And Gascon's, the reigning sandcastle champ, made the Arc de Triomphe. The girls all ask for the commander's verdict on which is best. Later, the commander is asked by Monica to come with her, saying that she wants to do something with the commander. Monica shows the commander an ace of hearts and a joker. The rule is, if the commander picks the ace of hearts, they win. Monica has the commander close their eyes and shuffles the cards. When the commander opens their eyes, only one is between her fingers, with the other between her breasts. The commander chooses the one between her fingers and wins, with Monica thinking she would have been able to trick the commander. Over in a Sakura Empire room, Zuikaku, Shokaku, and Mikasa talk with Nyotengu and Kasumi. Zuikaku is impressed that a greater Tengu is in front of her, with Shokaku telling her not to be rude in front of Nyotengu, but Nyotengu doesn't mind. Kasumi comments on how similar the Sakura Empire is to where she's from, having even talked with some ninjas. Shokaku offers tea, while the others continue to compare the Sakura Empire to where they're from. They all continue chatting, with plans of going to hot springs being made. For the ship girl profile summaries, the elite rarity ships, Monica, Nagisa, and Nyotengu, will be covered, followed by the super rare rarity ships, Honoka, Kasumi, Marie Rose, Misaki, Luna, and Tamaki. Their voice lines and histories will be condensed into one section, with their character art and skins being combined as well. Monica is an elite light cruiser from the Venus Vacation faction, and is the resident casino dealer for Extreme Venus Vacation, and is only available from the Vacation Lane Banner 1 and 2. Little is known about Monica's early life, outside of her father being an avid gambler who frequently took her to a casino while she was young. She traveled to the Venus Islands under the impression that its owner was hiring a casino dealer. Because she works as a dealer and was involved with gambling since she was young, most of her voice lines, voiced by Eri Yukimura, center around gambling, bets, and games of chance. In her character art, drawn by Guijin Shav, Monica wears a very tight-fitting, frilly, black and white double-breasted jacket with a spade between her bosoms, a very short, pleated black skirt, a made headband with bunny ears, cuffed lace arm gloves, a green and white frilled top with checkered bow tie, lace thigh-high stockings, and black high heels. She has a heart on her right breast and holds multiple aces of hearts in her hands and the elastic of her thigh highs. Her rigging consists of a multicolored roulette wheel behind her, a large mechanical piece that she sits on that has a star and roulette wheels on it, naval cannons on those guns with different card suits on them, and larger naval cannons on the armored pieces beside her, which have poker chips and face cards on them. Behind her are red and blue stars and red and blue smoke. Her outfit, the Ace of Hearts, has Monica sit on a black and white dartboard, in a small top hat, a frilled collar with a black tie that has a rabbit on it, an Ace of Hearts between her breasts, a frilly white and black nightgown, and a red money gun that's shooting out Aces of Hearts. She has treasure chests filled with Manju tokens, a champagne bucket, dartboards, one with an arrow in the bullseye, signboards, roses, and a pizza surrounding her. At level 125 with everything maxed, Monica has 3,861 HP, 150 firepower, 296 torpedo, 363 AA, 184 reload, 118 evasion, light armor, 32 speed, 164 accuracy, 88 luck, 88 anti-sub, and consumes 10 oil. Monica's skills focus on dealing damage, weakening enemies, and increasing her team and her own stats. Also, where applicable, the skills that are affected by the modules will be treated as if the ship girl has the module equipped. Instead of Royal Flush for Monica, it would be Royal Flush Plus, for example. At level 10, her first skill, Joker card, every 15 seconds after the start of battle, fires a level 10 barrage using special ammo and poker ammo. Enemies hit by the special ammo take 10% more damage for 6 seconds. This barrage's bullets does SAP damage, dealing 240 damage to all armor types and scales with 100% of the torpedo stat. The cards do AP damage, dealing 300 to all armor types, has Pierce 1, and scales 100% with the torpedo stat. Her second skill, at level 10, Royal Flush Plus, increases the shell velocity of Monica's main gun by 10%. When 5 enemy aircraft are shot down within the fleet's AA range, increase the Vanguard Fleet torpedo and AA by 12%. The recommended equipment for Monica is the Quad 152mm for the best DPS CL gun, the Quint Mag torpedoes for the best homing torpedoes, the twin 57mm/L60 for the best general AA gun, a repair toolkit and hydraulic steering gear for more survivability, and the Papanasi for the increased Royal Flush skill. Monica is pretty decent for an elite rarity light cruiser. Her first skill has a good barrage that weakens enemies who are hit by it, though only for 6 seconds, and her second skill, when she has the Papanasi, gives the bust she gets for having 5 enemy planes shot down near her to the entire Vanguard fleet, not just herself, as well as having her shots traveling a bit quicker. But this does require enemy aircraft carriers to be present in battle, and I'm unsure if the bust lasts until the end of the battle or until the stage is done. Not a high priority to raise, but she could work in some fleets if you want a debuffer and a buffer. Nagisa is an elite rarity battleship from the Venus Vacation faction, and is the older sister of Misaki. She's only available during the limited Vacation Lane banner 1 and 2. Nagisa was a member of a theater troupe in Japan, having mentored her younger sister Misaki since their high school days. She eventually learned that the owner of the Venus Islands had taken a picture of her younger sister, and developed a hostile view towards the owner because she believed they were taking advantage of Misaki, which they weren't. If it wasn't obvious already, Nagisa is very protective of Misaki, and often calls the commander a dog, being very judgmental of them. She is voiced by Maya Uchida. In her character art, drawn by Yu Rika, Nagisa wears a traditional Shrine Maiden's dress, which is comprised of a white, button-up, sleeveless shirt with a red bow around the collar, transparent white sleeves with red drawstrings on the cuffs, a pleated red and white skirt, white thigh highs with drawstrings at the top, very high, heeled black sandals, purse slips in her left hand, and a gohei in her right hand. Her rigging consists of black and red armor plates flanking her with traditional artwork on the sides, red and white ribbons coming out from behind her, double and triple barrel naval cannons on both sides of her, a large shimenawa behind her, and lightning arcing from her gohei, arms, and feet. In her outfit, blue skies, good vibes, Nagisa wears what is essentially a Shrine Maiden outfit, but a bikini. She wears a red tassel earring on her right ear, a white dress with transparent sleeves, a Shrine Maiden bikini with red accents, and her previous white thigh highs. She stands in the waves at a beach with pink petals, hibiscuses, and water droplets around her. One of her sandals is in front of her. At level 125 with everything maxed, Nagisa has 7,689 HP, 388 firepower, 177 AA, 151 reload, 40 evasion, heavy armor, 30 speed, 67 accuracy, 87 luck, and consumes 14 oil. Nagisa's skills focus on firing barrages, working together with Misaki, and debuffing enemies. At level 10, her skill, Not So Gentle Sister, every 18 seconds after the start of the battle, has a 70% chance to fire a level 10 special barrage. Enemies hit by this barrage take 12% more damage from Misaki and Nagisa for 8 seconds. This barrage does HE and normal damage. The HD does 1,312, 923, and 680 to light, medium, and heavy armors respectively, while the normal does 480, 384, and 336 to light, medium, and heavy armor. Her second skill, Venus's Unpredictability Plus, decreases the damage Nagisa takes by 15%. When she fires her main guns, she targets a random enemy and reduces their speed by 30% and evasion by 10% for 8 seconds. The recommended equipment for Nagisa is the triple 406mm Mark 7 for the best HE shelling damage, the triple 152mm Mark 25 for the best general use CL gun, the twin 40mm Bofors for the best AA for main fleet ships, the Type 1 AP and super heavy shells for a buff to crit rate and damage, and her module, the Souffle Pancake, for the buff to Venus's Unpredictability. Nagisa, if she's in the flagship slot, has a decent barrage that covers a wide area. Decent stats, with her S1 being able to debuff enemies against herself and Misaki for 8 seconds, and her S2 being able to slow and reduce the evasion of an enemy for 8 seconds. Not to mention the defense buff. But she relies on having her sister in the same fleet as her to get full use out of her S1, and her S2 targets ships randomly, which isn't great and is only reliable when one enemy, like a boss, is on screen. Overall, Nagisa is okay, but not a priority due to reliance on her sister being present and the randomness of her skill. The final of the Elite Rarity ships is the Elite Rarity aircraft carrier Nyotengu, Princess of all Tengus. She's only available during the limited Vacation Lane banner 1 and 2. Though her early life is a mystery, Nyotengu supposedly has existed as early as the Heian era of Japan, or roughly 1,200 plus years ago. She was a part of a week-long typhoon in the capital because she wanted the heat gone. Nyotengu often looks to be entertained by the commander, treating most other characters as children since they are younger than her, and is amazed by modern technology. She is voiced by Akemi Sato. In her character art, drawn by Backspace, Nyotengu wears a very low-cut black and red kimono, with a spider lily design on it, a yellow waist ribbon, red and white rope behind her, golden thigh circlets, short white socks, and red gaita with one tooth. Her rigging consists of a flight deck behind her, her large black wings, 3 red planes flying around her, black and red smoke swirling around her, and energy in form of red spider lilies. In her outfit, scarlet-tinged hot spring vacation, Nyotengu wears a very revealing sling bikini with arm gloves, garter belts, gloves, and a choker. She sits in a hot spring with a white monkey who's reading a paper, a manju drinking milk in a wash basin with a towel, red Japanese maple leaves falling from the tree above her, rocks keeping the water in, and a small stand with a tray that has sake on it. At level 125 with everything maxed, Nyotengu has 6,803 HP, 379 Aviation, 316 AA, 118 Reload, 55 Evasion, Medium Armor, 32 Speed, 89 Accuracy, 88 Luck, and consumes 12 Oil. Nyotengu's skills focus on launching airstrikes, taking down battleships, and buffing the Vanguard fleet. At level 10, her first skill, Dance of the Heavens, 5 seconds after Nyotengu finishes loading her airstrike, launches a level 10 special airstrike. This airstrike does bomb damage, scaling 80% with the aviation stat, and does 1,435, 1,621, and 1,938 damage to light, medium, and heavy armor respectively. Her second skill, Honoka Plus, at level 10, increases Nyotengu's damage against battleships by 10%. When she launches an airstrike, there's a 100% chance to decrease the frontmost Vanguard ship's damage taken by 12% for 8 seconds. The recommended equipment for Nyotengu is the prototype XF5U for the best surface damage fighter with great AA, the prototype Tenrai for a dive bomber with huge damage output, the Wyvern for the best general use torpedo bomber, 2 steam catapults for faster reload on airstrikes, and the Manju Bun to upgrade Honoka to Honoka Plus. As a carrier, Nyotengu is flexible enough to be used in most any fleet. Her average fighters and dive bombers as well as strong torpedo bombers are brought down, however, by her low reload stat. The barrage from her first skill does help with the low reload, and her second skill, if you have the Manju Bun equipped, does help the survivability of the frontmost ship in your Vanguard, which is usually the one that takes most damage. But only for 8 seconds. Without, it's random and only a 70% chance. I'd say she's low to middle priority to raise, but on the plus side, she's the event point ship, so she's eventually free. We finally arrive at the super rare rarity ships for this collab event. Honoka is a super rare rarity battleship from the Venus Vacation faction, and is Marie Rose's best friend. She's only available during the limited Vacation Lane banner 1 and 2. Honoka is a very happy and bubbly girl who likes to make friends, play with Marie, talk about her grandmother, and watch pro wrestling. She often praises the commander over the smallest things, helping where she can, and doing things for her grandmother as well. She is voiced by Ai Nonaka. In her character art, drawn by Young Sang, Honoka wears a very revealing Shrine Maiden dress, with a front, red and white sling cloth covering her front, red and white Shrine Maiden sleeves on her arms, a red pleated skirt with a white stripe around the bottom, a yellow and white ribbon around her waist, white thigh-high socks, and a Kagura Suzu in her right hand. Her rigging consists of armor plates on her lower sides, which have small guns poking out the side of them, and 3 large double-barrel naval guns beside her, 2 on her right, 1 on her left, all with red and white shimenawa at their base, a Shinto temple behind her with a small golden bell in front of it, a blue ribbon attached to the base of her Kagura Suzu, a manju with wings, and Japanese maple leaves all around her. Her rigging also bears a resemblance to Japanese walls and castles. In her outfit, Summer Angel on the shore, Honoka wears a very tight-fitting bikini with a manju pattern on it. Holding the left side up with her left hand, she kneels on some rocks with some larger rocks and pebbles around her. A manju is on its back behind her. At level 25 with everything maxed, Honoka has 8,095 HP, 408 firepower, 219 AA, 146 reload, 18 evasion, heavy armor, 26 speed, 58 accuracy, 91 luck, and consumes 15 oil. Honoka's skills focus on dealing large amounts of damage and randomness. At level 10, her first skill, Rock Paper Cannon Salvo, increases Honoka's firepower by 15%, and her damage against light armor enemies by 12%. 5 seconds after she fires her main guns, she fires a randomly chosen level 10 barrage using special ammo. These special ammos are petals, bullets, or cards. The petals have 1 pierce and deal 144, 112, and 64 AP to light, medium, and heavy armored enemies, respectively, as well as 192, 96, and 96 HE damage to light, medium, and heavy armor. The bullets deal 675, 475, and 350 HE damage to light, medium, and heavy armor enemies. And the cards deal 400 AP damage to all armors with Pierce 1. Her second skill, Super Mega Explosion Plus, at level 10, when Honoka fires her main guns, she heals 2 random ships in her fleet for 5% of their max HP, and, with a 100% chance, fires an improved Special Barrage. The HE shells have a 70% chance to inflict a special burn, which reduces firepower, torpedo, and aviation stats by 5% to burning enemies, and lasts for 30 seconds. The AP shells have a 20% chance to apply standard armor break to heavy armor enemies. The recommended equipment for Honoka is the prototype 406mm SK C/34 for the best HE gun for ships that proc on firing, the prototype triple 152mm Mark 25 for the best auxiliary CL gun, the twin 40mm Bofors for the best AA gun for main fleet ships, the Type 1 AP and super heavy shells for increased crit damage and rate, and her module Cream Puff for buffing Super Mega Explosion. In a mob fleet, Honoka performs quite well, having good stats, damage buffs, and barrages that are staggered. Her salvo barrage is alright, but the debuff and armor break chance are where it's at, while the after salvo barrages are okay but not hugely damaging. The healing from her S2 is nice, but as with all skills that target random ships, it's unreliable and may end up healing someone who doesn't need it. The damage over time and armor break, as previously mentioned, are welcome additions. Overall, Honoka is a decent ship and worth building if you're looking for a nice mob flagship, but there are some better options out there. Kasumi is a super rare rarity heavy cruiser from the Venus Vacation faction, and is a member of the Mugen Tenshin clan. She's only available during the limited Vacation Lane banner 1 and 2. Kasumi was trained as a ninja and ran away from her village after her village was attacked by her uncle, and decided to get revenge on him by entering the Dead or Alive tournament. Kasumi acts very polite around the commander, timidly helping them around the port, sometimes talking about ninjutsu, and comparing the Sakura Empire to where she's from. She's voiced by Hoko Kuwashima. In her character art drawn by Yu Rika, Kasumi wears a blue and white double-breasted uniform, with a collar that has a blue ribbon around it, half sleeves, an aiguillette, cuffed arm gloves, a pleated white and blue skirt, white thigh highs, a yellow ribbon keeping her ponytail in place, and black leather loafers. Her rigging consists of a large blue, white, and yellow banner behind her with a white crane on it, blue and black armor plates covering her thighs, armatures with a clan seal, katanas and double-barrel naval cannons on them, larger double-barrel naval cannons behind them, a larger katana to her right, and pink smoke that changes into cherry blossoms. In her outfit, Springside Mist, Kasumi wears an outfit that is very similar to Nagisa's alternative outfit. She wears a white, transparent, Shrine Maiden outfit with her hair down, a robe around her legs, sleeves, and a red rope around her waist. She's exiting a hot spring with a bamboo pipe to her left, a stream of fresh, hot water coming into the spring on her right, a manju walking with a basin full of sake jugs and a towel, another manju behind her being harassed by a butterfly while scooping out some spring water, and a temple on a cliff behind her, as well as forests and mountain ranges. At level 125 with everything maxed, Kasumi has 4,964 HP, 267 firepower, 219 torpedo, 229 AA, 177 reload, 97 evasion, medium armor, 28 speed, 137 accuracy, 85 luck, and consumes 12 oil. Kasumi's skills focus on hitting enemies with torpedoes and buffing herself and allies. At level 10, her first skill, Sakura Petal Dance, every 15 seconds after the start of the battle, and every time Kasumi lands 6 hits with torpedoes, she fires a special level 10 barrage. This barrage does 302, 235, and 134 AP damage, with Pierce 1 and 403, 201, and 201 HE damage to light, medium, and heavy armors respectively. Her second skill, at level 10, Misty Mirror Flower Plus, when Kasumi sinks an enemy, her firepower and reload are increased by 5% and stacks up to 3 times, so 15% total max. Once per battle, when she sinks 3 enemies, her accuracy goes up by 15% until the battle ends. When the battle starts, if Kasumi is in the frontmost position of the Vanguard fleet, the accuracy buff and an 8% damage buff is applied until the battle ends. I'm unsure if the accuracy buff from sinking 3 enemies can stack with the one for being the frontmost Vanguard ship. The recommended equipment for Kasumi is the prototype triple 234mm for the best CA gun against all armor types, the Quint Mag torpedoes for the best homing torpedoes, the twin 57mm/L60 for the best general use AA gun, the Beaver Squad Tag for a big buff to evasion and movement speed, the hydraulic steering gear for a buff to evasion, and her Strawberry Malefaire for buffing Misty Mirror Flower. As a tank, Kasumi functions quite well. Through her high luck and evasion, she is able to take quite a few hits, as well as being able to stack her buffs from her second skill and good enough barrage, with the barrage most likely launching every other torpedo shot. Her second skill, when you have Kasumi in the frontmost Vanguard slot, gives her the accuracy buff she usually gets from sinking 3 enemies, as well as a damage buff, all the more reason to have her in the frontmost slot. If you're looking for someone tanky who self-buffs and has a decent barrage, I'd recommend building Kasumi. Doubly so if you use her with Marie Rose. Speaking of, Marie Rose is a super rare rarity destroyer from the Venus Vacation faction, and is the best friend of Honoka. She's only available during the limited Vacation Lane banner 1 and 2. Marie serves as a servant to Helena in the Dead or Alive 6 story, and slowly befriends Honoka during their time together. Though she looks quite young, she is actually 18 years old, and is the shortest of the roster at 147 centimeters tall, or 4'10". Marie mentions that she can clean, cook, do laundry, be a bodyguard, and so on for the commander, as she was one for Helena Douglas, the head of DOA Tech. She also, of course, likes playing with Honoka, and is voiced by Mai Aizawa. In her character art, drawn by Young Sung, Marie wears a shoulderless and sleeveless black and white dress, which is frilled and in the Gothic Lolita style. A choker which connects to the dress with a strap, frilled black and white sleeves, fingerless gloves, hairpins, black hair ties tying her hair into pigtails, a red bow behind her, leather straps on her thighs and calf, and black and red lace-up strapped leather boots. Her rigging consists of 2 smaller hulls on both sides of her, each with a triple torpedo launcher and a smaller and larger single-barreled naval cannon. She has rose petals, fitting, fluttering around her. In her first outfit, Devilish Servant Against the Splashing Waves, Marie wears what appears to be a variant on the Japanese school one-piece swimsuit, which has the additions of a frilled collar with a red bow, frills around where the tops of her thighs are, and some ringlets around her thighs. She has a manju squeezed between her thighs as she sits in the surf, pouring a bottle of water on herself. In her second outfit, Steamy Venus, which is the first live 2D outfit in an Azur Lane collab, Marie sits with a bath towel on and her hair in twin buns instead of twin tails, sitting on the edge of a bath. She holds a ramune bottle with a drink umbrella and small Japanese maple leaves coming out of it. A plate of manju, the food, is beside her, with a bite taken out. Many manju, the character, are around her, one on its stomach, one on a floaty, and one on its back in the bath, and the final one next to a bottle. A Japanese maple tree overhangs all of the bath. At level 125 with everything maxed, Marie has 2,091 HP, 92 firepower, 514 torpedo, 181 AA, 225 reload, 248 evasion, light armor, 42 speed, 218 accuracy, 78 luck, 212 anti-sub, and consumes 10 oil. Marie's skills focus on dealing damage and launching torpedoes. At level 10, her first skill, Rose's Thorns Plus, for the first 60 seconds of the battle, Marie's firepower and torpedo stat is buffed by 15%. When she takes damage, there's a 10% chance a level 10 special barrage that always deals crits will fire, which also has a 10-second cooldown. Enemies hit by the barrage take 15% more cannon and torpedo damage from Marie for 5 seconds, which can't be stacked. This barrage does 750 AP damage to all armor types. Her second skill, Vibrant Minui, at level 10, increases the damage of Marie's first 3 torpedo launches of each battle by 50%. When she fires her torpedoes for 8 seconds, the Vanguard fleet's speed is increased by 3 and evasion by 15 for the frontmost ship in the Vanguard fleet. The recommended equipment for Marie Rose is the 135mm Model 1938 for the DD gun with the best DPS against medium armor, the Quint Mag torpedoes with the best homing torpedoes, the twin 57mm/L60 for the best general use AA, a repair toolkit for survivability, gold burn for more survivability, or Type 93 torpedo if you want more torpedo damage, and her Princess Tarta for the buff to Rose's Thorns. If you need a torpedo-focused destroyer, Marie Rose is it. The big buff to her first 3 torpedo launches, the decent main gun damage, great torpedo stat, good barrage, and skill that buffs the evasion of the frontmost ship in the Vanguard has Marie being a great team player and damage dealer who pairs well with Kasumi, as both give buffs to another ship or themselves if they are in the frontmost Vanguard position, or to the ship in the frontmost Vanguard position. Her skills and stats are more focused towards mob fleets, so if you're looking for a good torpedo destroyer, raise Marie Rose. Misaki is a super rare rarity light cruiser from the Venus Vacation faction, and is the younger sister of Nagisa. She's only available during the limited Vacation Lane Banner 1 and 2, and from the event shop for 8,000 Venus points. Misaki was the middle child of her family, who lived in a seaside town in Japan. She's close with her older sister Nagisa, who she became close to during their school years. She signed up to join the Venus Festival against her parents' wishes. Misaki is cheerful, likes to assist the commander, and enjoys teasing them as well. She confuses IJN Hibiki with her older sister since they share a VA. She's voiced by Minami Suda. In her character art, drawn by Yu Rika, Misaki wears a frilly black and white dress top, with most of the buttons undone and her bra poking through, straps on her shoulders, a black ribbon around her collar, long black frilled dress, a star hairpin and yellow scrunchie, with the scrunchie keeping her hair into a side ponytail, sheer black tights, and black and white frilled shoes with ribbons on the front of them. Her rigging consists of 2 ship hulls flanking her, both having double-barrel naval cannons. The rigging is attached to her back, with a much larger naval cannon at the very back of her. Part of her left arm is entangled with an orange ribbon, which flies on the wind behind her. 4 seagulls fly around her, and she stands in the surf. In her outfit, Golden Photo Shoot, Misaki wears what I assume to be either white lingerie or a bikini, that shows quite a bit of underboob, has a garter belt, red ribbons, and fishnet stockings. Her hair is down, and part of her right leg is tied up with the orange ribbon from before. She lounges on a leather sofa with gold trimmings, has a coffee table in front of her, a wheeled suitcase to her side, a Manju pillow, Dead or Alive Extreme Venus Vacation banner, multiple different plants, and a window with a sunset behind her. At level 125 with everything maxed, Misaki has 3,971 HP, 170 firepower, 333 AA, 197 reload, 109 evasion, light armor, 33 speed, 167 accuracy, 89 luck, 156 anti-sub, and consumes 11 oil. Misaki's skills focus on buffing herself and working together with other Venuses. At level 10, her first skill, Humble Part-Timer Plus, for the first 60 seconds of battle, increases Misaki's own firepower and damage against light armor enemies by 15%, as well as increasing her cannon damage by 12%. When the battle starts, if there's another Venus Vacation collab character in the same fleet as Misaki, increase her own AA by 15% and decrease her cannon damage taken by 12%. Her second skill, Venus Friends, at level 10, every 20 seconds after the start of battle, has Misaki fire a special barrage. Enemies hit by the barrage take 15% more damage from Venus Vacation ships, including herself, for 8 seconds. This barrage deals 675, 475, and 350 HE damage to light, medium, and heavy armor ships respectively. The recommended equipment for Misaki is the prototype quad 152mm for the CL gun with the highest DPS, the twin 128mm/45 SK C41 for a good auxiliary DD gun, the twin 57mm/L60 for the best general AA gun, a repair toolkit and hydraulic steering gear for survivability, and our mango vanilla crepe for the buff to humble part timer. Light armor enemies need to watch out for Misaki, as her skills, barrage, and damage boost all point towards them getting sunk pretty easily. She works best in a mob fleet and is perfectly suited for working together with Kasumi and Marie Rose, as all their buffs complement each other in some way or another. Realistically, you can have Nagisa in the main fleet so that she can get the Venus buff as well, but there are better options for a mob main fleet, especially for other Venus Vacation characters. Newly added to the rerun, Luna is a super rare rarity light aircraft carrier from the Venus Vacation faction, and is a traveling scholar. She's only available from the limited Vacation Lane Banner 1. Luna, like most of the other Venuses, has a clouded past, but she does imply that she was born in a cold, impoverished country, where she lived with her grandfather. She eventually became a traveling scholar who specialized in cultural anthropology and folklore. She often bugs the commander about if it's time to eat yet, preferring roasted sweet potatoes, as well as studying the goings-on around her. She's voiced by Shiori Mikami. In her character art, Luna wears a Shrine Maiden outfit very similar to Honoka's. She wears a white and red top that really only covers her front, with some spillage out the sides, a red skirt with white accents that has a yellow rope belt and large holes in the sides, white and red sleeves with patterns on them, a frilled white headband, collared socks, red gaita, and a Kagura Suzu on a staff with many different colored ribbons coming from it. Her rigging consists of a white and red circle that has a crescent moon and red beads inside it, a mechanical part behind her with a red and white shimenawa and prayer bell, as well as a long flowing aircraft carrier deck. 2 planes and flower petals fly around her, and steps up to a torii gate and crescent moon are behind her as well. In her outfit, Venus on the Beach, Luna wears a white and blue sling top bikini with many different blue pieces of string, a choker, and gold accents and jewelry. She has a white woven garter and bracelet around the top left thigh and right wrist respectively, 3 blue bracelets on her left wrist, as well as white sandals. She leans up against a small palm tree just past the sand of the beach, with red hibiscuses to her right and shrubbery around her. She holds a 3-scoop ice cream cone with her left hand. Other Venuses can be seen in the surf, with Nagisa, Honoka, and Misaki being the most clear ones to her left, while another is partially hidden by a leaf on the right. At level 125 with everything maxed, Luna has 6,343 HP, 369 aviation, 316 AA, 177 reload, 76 evasion, medium armor, 30 speed, 95 accuracy, 88 luck, 16 anti-sub, and consumes 12 oil. Luna's skills focus on debuffing enemies and launching airstrikes. At level 10, her first skill, Scholar's Ocean Investigation, when Luna launches an airstrike, she launches an additional level 10 airstrike. Enemies hit by the special airstrike get -3 AA and take 10% more damage from Luna for 6 seconds. Her second skill, Hunger After Work Plus, at level 10, increases Luna's aviation by 10% and decreases the loading time of her first 2 airstrikes by 50%. The recommended equipment for Luna is the prototype XF5U for the fighter with the best surface damage and AA, the Wyvern for the best general use torpedo bomber, the twin 40mm Bofors for the best main fleet AA gun, 2 steam catapults to get airstrikes out quicker, and a roasted sweet potato module for the buff to the hunger after work skill. Luna, all around, is a decent enough light aircraft carrier who specializes in getting a bunch of airstrikes out before other carriers, and having these airstrikes debuff enemies that are hit by them, with her stats being on par to well above other light carriers. However, the debuffs from her first skill are quite small, as well as her second skill only affecting the first 2 airstrikes. Overall, this makes Luna a good mob fleet ship due to her skills, and places her in a medium to medium high priority to raise. Newly added to the rerun, the final super rare rarity ship and final ship overall is Tamaki, a super rare rarity battle cruiser from the Venus Vacation faction, an X-model turned fashion designer. She's only available during the limited Vacation Lane Banner 1. As previously mentioned, Tamaki used to be a swimsuit model and eventually became a fashion designer who's trained in Aikido style of hand-to-hand combat as a means of self-defense, eventually reaching master level despite how young she is. Tamaki enjoys drinking and lazing around, while also flirting with the commander and complimenting other ship girls. She's voiced by Saori Onishi. In her character art, Tamaki wears a white collared button-up shirt with most of the buttons undone to show her black lace bra, a black pencil skirt, black lace thigh-high stockings, burgundy heel shoes, a bracelet with red string around it on her right wrist, and a pointer in her left hand. Her rigging consists of 2 halves of the bow of a ship flanking her left and right, 2 double-barrel naval cannons near her with armor at the bottom, 2 more double-barrel naval cannons on the bows themselves, with armor on top that's being kept in place by blue ropes and bells. There are multiple different bells with blue pieces of patterned cloth underneath the rigging as well. All around her, she's encompassed by a wave. In her outfit, Venus Shower Time, Tamaki wears a very revealing one-piece swimsuit with black ribbons, a pink ribbon and black lace, a black lace armband around her right arm, and a black choker. Her hair is now in a ponytail. Tamaki is leaning up against a glass door with a running shower head in her left hand and is drawing a heart in the condensation with her right. Behind her is a bathroom filled with 4 different types of soap, the wash area where the shower head is from, 2 lights, a mirror, a potted plant, closed blinds, and a large white porcelain bath. There is also a bath mat in front of the door she's leaning on. At level 125 with everything maxed, Tamaki has 8,417 HP, 412 firepower, 316 AA, 174 reload, 41 evasion, heavy armor, 33 speed, 75 accuracy, 87 luck, and consumes 14 oil. Tamaki's skills focus on debuffing enemies and protecting allies. At level 10, her first skill, Fitting Time, while Tamaki is afloat, decreases all enemies' firepower and torpedo by 8%. Every 16 seconds, she spawns a barrier that lasts 8 seconds and negates up to 3% of the recipient's max HP and damage, with the barriers going around 2 random Venus Vacation Collab characters. Her secondary gun range is set to 80, and when she fires her secondary guns, it decreases a random enemy speed by 40% for 3 seconds, having an 8-second cooldown between activations. Her second skill, Lysianthus Halation Plus, at level 10, increases Tamaki's main gun efficiency by 10%, as well as increasing her firepower and accuracy by 10%. When she fires her main guns, she has a 100% chance to fire a level 10 barrage that inflicts armor break to enemies hit. The first time in each battle that she fires her secondary guns, the same barrage is fired. The recommended equipment for Tamaki is the prototype 406mm SKC/34 for the best HE gun for ships that proc on firing, the prototype triple 152mm Mark 25 for the best general use auxiliary CL gun, the twin 40mm Bofors for the best main fleet AA gun, the Type 1 AP and super heavy shell for increased crit rate and damage, and a unique module Macaroon for the buff to Lysianthus Halation. Tamaki is probably one of the best, if not the best, ships from this event. Good stats, great body, an S1 that not only debuffs enemies while she's alive and protects allies, but also debuffs enemies with her secondary guns. Her S2 has a guaranteed armor break if you have her module, buffs her own stats, as well as having a free barrage when her secondary guns first fire. The only downsides that I can see are the shields appear to be pretty weak, and the buffs from her second skill are minor. Overall, I'd recommend raising Tamaki and having her in the flagship position of your fleet, preferably with other Venus Vacation characters. Since the Venus Vacation ship girls have skills that buff other Venus Vacation ship girls, here's my recommendation for a pure Venus Vacation fleet. Have Honoka, Tamaki, and Luna in the main fleet, with either Honoka or Tamaki as the flagship, and have Kasumi, Misaki, and Marie Rose in the vanguard fleet, with Kasumi in the frontmost position, Marie in the middle, and Misaki at the back. Honoka is able to destroy light armor, debuff enemies, and heal allies. Luna is able to launch airstrikes quickly while debuffing enemies. Tamaki shields other Venuses while debuffing enemies and inflicting armor break. Kasumi buffs herself and launches barrages. Marie buffs Kasumi to further tank and launches an always critting barrage, and Misaki buffs herself and other Venuses, while also making enemies take more damage from Venus Vacation ships. Overall, this fleet would be more suited towards mob enemies than bosses. Briefly going over the different equipment and modules that are available from the Venus Vacation event and what they do when fully enhanced. The Awakening Pearl is an auxiliary equipment which is obtained from completing Volleyball Scrimmage Day 7. It gives plus 18 evasion, plus 28 accuracy, and a 3% OPS damage boost. When equipped by a Venus Vacation Collab character, they get plus 3 damage. The Heart Key is an auxiliary equipment which is obtained from the Vacation Lane milestone rewards at Phase 19. It gives plus 44 AA, plus 36 accuracy, and a plus 3 OPS damage boost. When sorting with a girl who has the Heart Key equipped, the battle music is changed. The Papanasi is Monika's unique augment module, and is available from the Venus Vacation event shop for 3,000 Venus points. It gives plus 32 torpedo, plus 20 AA, and applies the Blackjack module effect. This effect, for the first 21 seconds of battle, increases Monika's AA by 15%. When the effect ends, her damage dealt is increased by 15% until the battle ends. The Manju Bun is Nyotengu's unique augment module, and is available from the Vacation Lane milestone rewards at Phase 13. It gives plus 35 evasion, plus 17 accuracy, and applies the Tengu's Fan module effect. This effect, for the first 40 seconds of battle, increases Nyotengu's damage dealt by 10%. When the effect ends, she takes 5% less damage until the end of battle. The Soufflé Pancake is Nagisa's unique augment module. It gives plus 35 firepower, plus 15 reload, and applies the Soufflé Attack module effect. This effect, for the first 30 seconds of battle, increases Nagisa's firepower by 10%. When the effect ends, her reload is increased by 10% until the battle ends. The Mango Vanilla Crepe is Misaki's unique augment module, and is obtained from the Venus Vacation event shop for 3,000 Venus points. It gives plus 32 firepower, plus 20 reload, and applies the Delicious Cakes module effect. This effect, for the first 60 seconds of battle, restores 1.5% of Misaki's max HP every 10 seconds, or 9% max HP overall. When the effect ends, Misaki takes 5% less damage until the battle ends. The Strawberry Millefeuille is Kasumi's unique augment module. It gives plus 30 firepower, plus 10 evasion, and applies the Brilliant Lapis effect. This effect, for the first 50 seconds of battle, decreases Kasumi's damage taken by 5%. When the effect ends, Kasumi recovers 3% of her max HP. The Cream Puff is Honoka's unique augment module, and is obtained from the Venus Vacation event shop for 3,000 Venus tokens. It gives plus 35 firepower, plus 12 reload, and applies the Fatal Delphinium effect. This effect, for the first 50 seconds of battle, increases Honoka's accuracy by 10%. When the effect ends, she recovers 5% of her max HP. The Princess Tarta is Marie Rose's unique augment module. It gives plus 40 torpedo, plus 18 firepower, and applies the Rose's Waltz effect. This effect, for the first 60 seconds of battle, increases Marie's reload by 15%. When the effect ends, the damage she takes is decreased by 15% until the battle ends. The roasted sweet potato is Luna's unique augment module. It is obtained from completing Day 3 of the butt battle. It gives plus 40 aviation, plus 15 accuracy, and applies the Happy Mealtime effect. This effect, for the first 30 seconds of battle, increases Luna's accuracy by 10%. When the effect ends, she takes minus 10% damage until the battle ends. The final module, Macaroons, is Tamaki's unique augment module and is obtained from completing Day 7 of the butt battle. It gives plus 28 firepower, plus 20 accuracy, and applies the iconic direction effect. This effect, for the first 30 seconds of battle, decreases the damage Tamaki takes by minus 20%. When this effect ends, all Venus Vacation ships get plus 15% AA until the battle ends. Overall, this event is pretty good. The story was nice, light and easy to follow, characters who participated were well written, interactions were well done, and the characters reflect how they are in the Extreme Venus Vacation games. And the reader doesn't need any prior experience with the Dead or Alive series to know what's going on. Voice acting was well done, the outfits and alternative outfits are well illustrated and shows a nice amount of skin, especially with the alternative outfits. All of the super rare rarity ships can easily find themselves in any fleet, though the elite rarity ships do need some work to be usable, but that's how it is for most elite rarity ships. And the addition of augment modules was a good idea, as it makes the super rare rarity ships even better, and makes some of the elite rarity ships kinda usable. Same goes for adding the Venus Exchange ticket to the event shop for those who are missing that one last collab ship. My overall verdict of the Venus Vacation collaboration event is S- for ships, S for equipment, A for story, and triple S for skins. Thank you for watching. Please follow my Twitter for updates, I also stream, and please check out my other Azur Lane videos as well. There will be a teaser out on Monday for next week's character summaries.